Hi, I'm Auty. I've had this idea for a while now. 12 months, 12 videos. Each video telling the story of that particular month.
Throwing rocks to your window pane. Kiss me once and I'll float away. But that ain't me anymore. But I don't mind if I sell my soul to get a song on the radio. Credit cards on a student loan. That's a millennial. Do you remember how it feels to be young? Do you remember we could be anyone? I miss the beautiful floor of your room. September can't wait too soon. Do you remember how it feels to be young? It feels great, motherfucker. Yeah.
I'm glad to be back in the studio, glad to be back in Cincinnati, and just kind of to talk a little bit of ball. And we have quite a bit to talk about. This was my January. It started New Year's Eve at one of my favorite things I do the entire year, the New Year's Eve party at Kate's house with all of my friends. You can check out Kate's channel for the video from that night. After that, it was a lot of driving, mostly from Cincinnati to Sydney, back to Cincinnati, and back to Sydney. And a lot of my time was spent at this place right here, Paul Brown Stadium, the home of the Bengals. I work at the pro shop there, and I have for a few seasons. When I wasn't there or at the radio station, I was editing this video and trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. See, I'm a very routine-oriented person, and for most of my 2019, there was no routine at all. So for 2020, I wanted to get in the routine of going to the gym, recording the podcast, and taking care of all the other stuff that I like to do. Oh, by the way, I'm bald now, so that's fun. Actually, I love it, and I think I'm going to stick with it for a while. So I gassed up and hit the road once again, this time to Columbus, where I rode with Shelby and we went to celebrate Ashley's 22nd birthday. We stayed with Kate, and honestly, we had a blast. We had good food, good times, and we sang happy birthday. Happy birthday, dear Ashley. Happy birthday to you. And there was some dancing. Well, one person was doing a lot of the dancing. And of course, Buckeye Donuts. Hello, YouTube. If you're seeing this, which I don't know as I record it if you are, but if you're seeing this, that means I made the executive decision that I was halfway through editing and realized that this whole voiceover thing just isn't going to work. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to tell the story of my January, and I don't know that I can do that necessarily with a voiceover and a bunch of like kind of cool clips. And as you saw in the first part of the video, that was kind of like my creative side of the whole thing, where I'm like, it was just really fast-paced creative, and it just showed some things that I did, but it didn't necessarily tell the story of my January. And I don't know, and this is a problem that a lot of people run into on the YouTube here. The question I asked myself is, am I making these videos for the people that watch them, or am I making the video for myself? And now the old me, and it's a phrase that I say a lot now, but the old me would have said, I'm making these videos for the people that watch them. This me says, I'm making these videos for myself. So I'm just gonna do whatever I think is cool, and if there's gonna be some interrupting breaks where I look like a vlogger like this, well then great. And if not, well then that's cool too. It's raining, and it has rained a lot here. It has rained a lot here in Cincinnati over the past month in January. So it's January 24th right now. It's raining. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm gonna go meet my friend Rachel for some coffee. Good morning again. Well, hello again, and good morning. This is a part of my life that's new. It's 4:40 in the morning. The media company that I work for had a series of layoffs this week. Over the last 2 weeks, where they laid off, I think, almost 300 employees nationwide. And I was lucky enough that I was not one of those 300 employees. But I'm sure you know this already if you're watching this. So, but I'm a producer for several radio stations, and we all fall under the umbrella of one company, and that company is the company that made Cuts. So we lost two other producers, I should say, to an already pretty thin staff here in Cincinnati. So that means that I've been moved around and out of the routine that I had just kind of gotten into and used to. Now on Mondays, Tuesdays, and on Monday mornings, Tuesday mornings, and on some Saturday mornings, I will be working from 5 a.m. to like 9 a.m. or in today's case, which is a Saturday morning, 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. I consider myself a morning person, but there's a difference between 5 a.m. and like 8 a.m. in terms of being a morning person. So I didn't record anything else, and I went to church on Sunday.
Is connected, has made the choice to be on a team with somebody else. And here we are today in 2020 America, and the first big idea I want us to understand is that if you want to be relationally connected, you're going to have to make a countercultural choice. If you want to have a sense of belonging and oneness with other people and be on a team, you're going to have to make choices that are counter to the way our culture is going, because everything in our culture is splitting us apart. Everything in our culture is causing us to be lonely. We are arguably the loneliest generation in the history of America, maybe in the history of the world.
Breaking news in this Sunday afternoon, five-time NBA champion, former league MVP Kobe Bryant died earlier this afternoon in Los Angeles in a helicopter crash. News reports are just coming in among multiple victims. Kobe Bryant on that helicopter.
Well, this sucks. It is Sunday, January 26th. I'm on my way to work, and we just found out about an hour ago that Kobe Bryant died this morning. That sucks, man. Kobe was one of my all-time favorite athletes, period. He was so much more than just a basketball player. He was so much more than just, kind of a figure to people. He was an idol to many. There were, ravenous Kobe fans and people that were just so far on his side of things. The man spoke so many languages. He had such an interesting life. On top of that, being, in my opinion, one of the top two basketball players in the history of the game. It's a really sad day. I'm like seriously bummed. I don't even want to go to work. It sucks, but it's been an awfully rough start to 2020 when it comes to this kind of thing. So hopefully that ends soon. But in the meantime, I guess you get to celebrate the life and the things that Kobe did accomplish while he was here. So if anything, he made an impact beyond more than just the basketball court, which is something that he and his wife and his family should be proud of. So now off to work and wrapping this month up, unfortunately, for the most part here, of the last 5 days, on a sad